Alright, welcome back to Red Dead Redemption. This is part 9. And in this part, we are going to do some more miscellaneous tasks. And just some stranger missions, some hunting, which is what we're going to start with. So, you want to go to where I marked on the map, which is just going to be on the railroad, if you want to follow that, from McFarlane's Ranch all the way to the northeast. I'm going to kill these wolves. You don't have to. They probably won't be there, but I'm just taking them out so they don't scare off any of the boars, because what we're doing here is we're going to hunt and skin some boars, and I tend to find them right here by the railroad where the railroad leads into West Elizabeth. Now, you can't cross the railroad into West Elizabeth yet, because that is the third act of the game. So, but luckily the boars do spawn next to the railroad to West Elizabeth in New Austin. So here's some boars, so feel free to kill them. It's going to take at least 2 shots unless you shoot them in the head. So here are the first 2 that I found. And this is for the Master Hunter Challenge, but it's only the first part of the Master Hunter Challenge. So for this Master Hunter Challenge, you're going to need to kill and skin 5 boar and 3 armadillos. So here's the first 2 boars skinned for me. I did run around here for a little bit. It does take a bit for them to spawn sometimes. You'll be hanging around for a while. But I usually get them around these trees here. But I did spot another one here, so I got off my horse because my horse would not go down the hill. So I did it on foot, and I ended up finding, I think 2 more here. So there's number 3 right here. I could hear another one, so I started running around, but I couldn't find it, so I didn't really know what to do. But I just ended up skinning this one. Again, I'll skip the little animation here. And there's a trick that I found to skip the animation for looting corpses and skinning animals. But it only really works on the bigger animals, which I think I'm going to do it here. So there's boar number 4, and right next to it, boar number 5. And there's another boar up there, but you don't need to kill it, or I don't need to kill it. Again, these boars might not be in the exact same spot as I found them for you, but they'll be close by. So here's the trick. If you stand your horse kind of on top of the body of the animal you killed, if you do it just right, it'll prompt you to skin the animal, but your horse is right next to you, and so you can't actually go into the animation. So feel free to try that so you don't have to do the animation every time. So I wanted to show that I did get the 5 out of 8 animal skin for the next Master Hunter Challenge. And yeah, so after you do that, you want to come over here and save your progress, because if you die, you lose your challenge progress. So make sure you save. The challenge progress only saves if you complete the challenge, so make sure you save. And then there are going to be 3 options here. What we're going to do next is we're going to go for the train. So you can wait here at the McFarlane's Ranch train station for the train. That's one of your options. And all the options involve going to Armadillo. So if you get on the train at McFarlane's Ranch, make sure it's heading towards Armadillo. And what we're doing here is we're going to do the next Sharpshooter Challenge, which requires you to get 5... it requires you to kill 5 birds out of the air while you're on a moving train. So if you're starting from McFarlane's Ranch, try and do that before you get to Armadillo. Or get some of them before you get to Armadillo. You don't have to do all of them before you get to Armadillo. But just make sure you end up at Armadillo at some point. Now, your second option is go directly from McFarlane's Ranch to Armadillo. And when you get to Armadillo, Whether you're riding on the train from McFarland's Ranch to Armadillo, or if you're riding straight to Armadillo, you want to come and save. Well, actually, you don't want to save if you're riding from McFarland's Ranch to Armadillo, but in this case, I'm going to save because I did ride here directly. But you want to get there, save, and you want to go to the store. This is what you want to do no matter what. Once you get to Armadillo, you want to go into the general store, and you want to buy a survivalist map again. So once you do that, your other options, if you didn't get on the train at McFarland's Ranch, is to wait in Armadillo for the train, or your other option is to try and find the train and just ride to it. And that's what I'm going to do, just so I don't have to sit and wait for the train. Now, if you do sit and wait for the train, what you want to do is try and get your 5 bird kills, whether you're starting from McFarland's Ranch or starting from Armadillo. You want to try and get your 5 bird kills, and then you want to try and get them before you get to the Rio Bravo area so you can jump off the train and enter the Rio Bravo area, because we're going to need to do some stuff there. But in this case, like I said, I'm riding directly to the train. If you don't feel like waiting, you can do that. And of course, you just got to kind of meet the train. Worst case scenario, you're going to be where I am, where you're going to have to chase the train a little bit, which kind of sucks because it just takes longer. So hopefully you can try and meet the train. But here we go. Here's the train up ahead. Just keep following the tracks. And you want to head up to one of the front cars, because the front cars are what's going to have the prompt for being able to jump onto the train. If you jump on right here, you're going to see a ladder. You can go up there. And you don't have to do this, but I crouch just in case I don't know, fall off or something. And like I said, we're going to go for 5 bird kills, so shoot 5 birds out of the air while you're on the train. So that's 3 for me. If you're having a hard time, as you saw, you can use your Deadeye. It's not a big deal. Just make sure you have enough Deadeye to last. And there's bird number 5 for me, which is Sharpshooter Challenge number 4. And then you can go ahead and jump off. And if you started from McFarland's Ranch or Armadillo, hopefully you got those before you got to Rio Bravo. That way you can jump off the train at Rio Bravo. If you did end up chasing the train, you're going to want to get on your horse and head over there. So, make your way over there. Again, I sped up the footage just because it's me traveling again. Now, once you enter the Rio Bravo area, you don't have to go as far as I do. You just have to be in the general area for Rio Bravo. And you want to open up your satchel. And you want to use your survivalist map. Now, Rio Bravo is the area that has the red sage. So you want to look around for a red sage. And we're going to need 6 of these for the challenge. The survivalist challenge. So run around and look for 6. But you're going to need a total of 13 for other quests that we're going to need to do. Stranger tasks and... I actually think it's 2 strangers tasks. So just make sure you get a total of 13. I, of course, went around and collected as many as I could. There's number 6 for me, so that'll be Survivalist Challenge 3 of 10. Also, be careful in this area. You'll find some cougars that might attack you. There's a lot of cougars in this area, so that'll count for the unnatural selection achievement, but I'm not going to mark that here because there's no guarantee that you'll get one here. So I'm not going to count it. So, again, I did complete the challenge already, but I'm going to go around and collect some more red sage, because again, we do need 13 total. And also, I want to point out that if you hit down on the D-pad at any point, you can zoom the minimap out and see more of the land on the minimap, and therefore see more of the plants that are marked on the map by your survivalist map. Now, once you get 13, we're going to head over to Benedict Point. But also, while we're in the Rio Bravo area and in this general area around Fort Mercer, just where I like to do it, you want to look around for a ground animal or ground animal. So a snake, a wolf, a coyote, a cougar even. And what you want to do is you want to kill a land animal and an air animal at the same time in the same Deadeye meter. Now, it doesn't have to be like that. It just has to be two different animals in one Deadeye meter. So you couldn't do a songbird and a crow, or a crow and a vulture, or a songbird and a hawk. But the easiest way to do it is to look for one on the ground and then shoot a bird out of the sky at the same time. Another tip I have for you is just make sure you don't run out of Deadeye like I do here. And also, they have to be in the same general direction. So you can't mark one that's north of you and then mark one that's south of you, because then it won't actually shoot at both of them. They kind of have to be in the same general direction. Another tip I have for you, as you'll see in my case, I am shooting at a wolf. So I marked the wolf twice just to make sure that he would die, and then I can mark the bird once. Because any bird is only going to take one kill, but not all the ground animals take one shot to kill. So make sure you do that, and that will be Sharpshooter Challenge number 5. Now we can head to Benedict Point, and the train happens to be stopped here, but that doesn't matter. And once we're here, we can head into the post office here and talk to Jimmy. Now that'll be a stranger task added to your journal. You'll get a little cutscene where you talk to him, and that's all you really need to do. Now, I get on my horse here. You don't have to, but I cut it out. You just want to start the next mission with Irish. You'll get another cutscene. And you want to get on your horse and just wait on Irish here. And this is going to be a long mission, so be ready. So, once he starts riding off, you can follow him. And again, this is just travel and dialogue, so I will go ahead and speed up the footage. Now, once you get up here past this house, or this little shack, you'll get a cutscene, and you'll end up here, and you want to use your Deadeye to take out these two guys. And then you'll start a shootout up here in the Gaptooth Breach area, where the mine is. And you want to just start taking the guys out. Careful not to lock onto the birds. And there's going to be guys across the way here. A lot of these little boxes do have oil lamps on them. So if you can't hit a guy, or like he's stuck behind a piece of cover and the crate he's using cover, or the crate he's using for cover, has an oil lamp on it, feel free to shoot the oil lamp and it'll set him on fire and you can take him out that way. But that's mainly out here. There's a couple of oil lamps in the mine as well that you can do that with, and I will use those in this episode here. They're all going to start guarding the mine, so you want to take cover behind a tent or one of these boxes here. I know it doesn't seem like the tent would be the best idea for cover, but it's a solid object in the game, so might as well. Now, I got one guy left here, I believe. Two guys left here. So I'm just going to run up. And you can loot all the guys here if you want to. I don't think I'd loot everyone. I might spend time looting everyone. I don't remember. But I do also want to say that this is technically another gang hideout. So feel free to take note of where all the enemies are, because we're going to have to come back here later. So once you get into the mine, a good tip is to use the D-pad left and right buttons to change which shoulder you're looking over, or which shoulder the camera's looking over. And that will help you kind of shoot around corners and stuff and get a jump on some of the enemies. You can also use the TNT barrels, as you can see, to blow up the enemies as you're going down the tunnels. I thought that piece of TNT would blow up that wall and let you walk through, but it doesn't. You do have to go this way. And I'm just taking things a little slow. There's another TNT box right there. You also have to be careful because the enemies can sometimes use the boxes and barrels of TNT. So a lot of the time I'm just blowing them up to not get hit by those from the enemies. So here I am, just looting up bodies and making my way down the rest of the tunnel. Here's where you can use the oil lamps. So there's one, as you can see, and two. Just if you want to try it out, it's kind of fun. Just be careful because there is a barrel of TNT behind that first oil lamp that I shot. And you can still see all the guys on the mini-map, so you can kind of prepare beforehand. Just take it slow. And right here you can kind of see into this open area. And if you take cover right here, it'll mark all the enemies on the map. And you can start shooting at them. And there is some more TNT down there, so feel free to use that. I believe that will get a couple kills. Yep, killed one guy there. If I had waited for that other guy to move up, I probably would have gotten 2 kills. But continue on. You'll get this big open area here and then another hallway. Shouldn't be anyone in here, but they haven't pushed up yet. They will be in there, so just be careful. There will be another guy behind that box there. Another one here. And you can see him on the mini-map, so just like I said, take it slow. Use all the TNT and oil lamps that are necessary, and just make sure you don't get blown up by any TNT or anything. Now, at this point, you can run around and loot all the corpses. And then once you touch this X, you get a little cutscene, and you can then push the minecart. And they let you use your gun here, but there are no enemies at this point, so you don't really need to use your gun or worry about anything like that. You just push the minecart all the way to the end, and when you get to this point, you will start riding it. Once you get to the X, you'll get another cutscene, and you'll raise it up onto an elevator and put it on another track. And at this point, you can use your gun, because there will be other people or more treasure hunters kind of trying to keep you from taking the cart. You'll get a cutscene here with some TNT. You can shoot it immediately, but if for some reason you're a little too close before, or you're moving a little too fast to be able to aim at it and shoot it before you get close, you can use your Deadeye to slow down and get a shot off. But I doubt you'll need that. But yeah, at this point, the mission will end once you get it to the X. And there you go. That is that Irish mission. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to walk over to this open clearing. Don't use your camp here because you're technically still in a gang hideout, so you got to move more over here, and then you can use your campfire. So go ahead and do that. And at this point, we are going to save. Make sure it's daytime, and we are also going to make sure you reload the game as well. So once you reload, you can come over here. The gang hideout is deserted, so you won't have to fight any gangs. And also, just go back into the mine. Don't go up here where I'm going. You don't need to come up here at all. So this is just, I just forgot where to go. You don't have to go up there. Just go back into the mine. We're going to do the next part of the Funny Man Stranger task. So just follow where I go. And right in here, you will find Jimmy. You'll need to cut him free. Once you do that, you'll get another cutscene where he talks to you. And then you will need to head back out of the mine again. Then after that, you get on your horse, and one more time, you want to go to this open clearing and go to your campsite. And just like last time, we're going to save the game. And reload. And you don't have to go here. I wanted to see if the gang hideout would be available. But it wasn't, so I was like, whatever. I was going to do it, but it wasn't available. Kind of luckily, because this video is already getting kind of long, so we will end up doing that in a later episode. But we're going to do the next part of Funny Man here, which is going to be all the way at Pike's Basin, so make your way all the way over there. And of course we are traveling, so I just sped up the footage. Like always, you should know this by this point. Now, if you go this direction into Pike's Basin, you'll kind of have to go around this tiny, I don't know, path. But if you do it this way, then you can kind of sneak in without any of the enemies seeing you, because this is, like I said, when we came here earlier with Marshall Johnson, this is a gang hideout. So if you come this way, you can kind of sneak in. You don't have to crouch or anything like that. But you want to come over here and you can untie Jimmy again. For some reason, as soon as I cut Jimmy out, or the gang kind of saw me for some reason. Not really sure why that happened, but you'll get a cutscene, he'll talk to you again, and that will be the next part of Funny Man done. So from here, you can do this gang hideout now if you would like, but for now, I'm going to just head to McFarland's Ranch. Gonna get my horse. And you can sneak right back out of the gang hideout by going up this ramp here. and then you can make your way on the road back into McFarland's ranch. Now, that's going to be the end of this episode, so thanks for tuning in, and make sure you tune in to the next one. See ya.